Presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Utano program. Cars Plus kick off our holidays by supporting the Make-A-Wish Jingle Rock Virtual Run. Visit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Guam and CNMI Facebook page for details. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Ahead on primetime, when will Guam receive the much-needed COVID-19 vaccine? Plus, 4 more personnel from the Guam Police Department test positive for COVID. And with the change in quarantine guidelines from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, will the island make adjustments to its current quarantine protocol?
Holiday and good evening, everyone. We begin with a quick look at the latest COVID numbers. Out of 752 test samples from various labs, 31 came back positive. Currently, there are 803 cases in active isolation and 6,005 have recovered. To date, there have been a total of 6,920 cases and 112 COVID-related deaths. As of December 2nd, the island's COVID area risk score is 3.4. And 4 more Guam Police Department personnel have tested positive for COVID-19. 3 are trainees from the 11th Police Training Cycle, and 1 is a civilian support employee assigned to the Administrative Services Bureau. To date, there have been 36 positive cases at GPD. Currently, 11 trainees and the civilian employee are in home isolation. 2 trainees are in the GovGuam isolation facility. Also late this afternoon, the Guam Fire Department confirmed 1 firefighter stationed at the Talafofo Fire Station tested positive for the coronavirus on Tuesday. 2 other personnel assigned to the same unit were ordered to quarantine at home until they can be tested on Saturday. Decontamination was done at the station. Emergency operations will continue with adjustments made in scheduling for the assigned firefighters. Since March, a total of 9 GFD personnel have tested positive for COVID-19. And another airport employee has come down with COVID. In a news release, the GIAA said it was determined that the employee acquired the virus through community spread and not at the airport. In a statement, Executive Manager John Kinata said, quote, GIAA employees, along with all our airport community, are committed to safe and efficient travel. From curb to cabin, we have implemented protective measures to safeguard all who work and travel through the Guam airport. And when will the vaccine arrive? How many will Guam get? How will we store it? And who gets it first? Public Health PIO Janela Carrera gives an update on where we are with the coronavirus vaccine.
So, initially we were anticipating that it would be an initial shipment of 2,000 doses. That changed to 4,000. Now what we're hearing is that it would be a shipment of up to 7,500 doses.
It's been almost a whole year living in the COVID-19 world, and since the first positive COVID case, we've all been asking one question: when will we be getting a vaccine? According to Public Health PIO Janela Carrera, we could be seeing vaccines soon.
We are anticipating that the Pfizer vaccine would arrive at the end of December, mid to end of December. About maybe a few weeks after the Pfizer vaccine arrives is when we anticipate the Moderna, the vaccine B, to arrive.
While Moderna's vaccine can be stored for up to 6 months at around -4 degrees Fahrenheit, Pfizer's ultra-cold vaccine needs temperatures of -94 degrees Fahrenheit, requiring the use of a specialized freezer. While GMH may not have procured theirs, Carrera says GovGuam has them, but the question is, do they work?
As we understand, we do have the freezer that's required, but we just want to make sure that we have all of the parts and that the freezer is capable and working. So that's something that we are working on, but we did put in a request for the type of freezer that's required for the Pfizer vaccine, and we put in the request through FEMA, so we're still waiting to hear word on that.
According to Carrera, there are a total of 3 ultra-cold freezers currently stored at Guam EPA, and with just 3 freezers currently and a bulk shipment of 7,500 doses of the vaccine arriving in a few weeks, Carrera says Public Health is hopeful they have the means to store the vaccine.
FEMA has been a really great partner. CDC has been a really great partner, and all of our requests are being met.
Now, when it comes to distribution, Carrera says that there's a committee being formed to put a plan in place on how they will distribute the vaccine after the first round goes to first responders and healthcare workers.
The method of distribution that's all still being discussed, and that's also the reason why it's important for us to formulate the vaccination committee, because once that's formulated, and it would be at that level that the vaccination committee would have that discussion, um, create those specific plans and the logistical aspect and the method of distribution, um, and they would be the ones who would really sort of formalize those types of distribution plans.
The committee will most likely be composed of members of the healthcare community, healthcare licensing boards, the Office of the Governor, and the Department of Public Health, to name a few. Now it's just a matter of how all the pieces of the puzzle will line up. When will we get the vaccine? How will we store it? And how will we distribute it? Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Peter Santos.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced new quarantine guidelines. They state that quarantine can end after 10 days if the person has not developed any symptoms, and after 7 days if the asymptomatic person also tests negative. The revised CDC guidance will be discussed during the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group meeting later tonight, among many other issues, and that's according to Chairperson Dr. Hoa Wen.
I think 14 days is way too long, and I'm very happy that CDC will consider shortening it. So we're looking for that, and we will wait for that. Regarding quarantine, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of discussion. We're going to talk on the pack and give advice to try to do something different, either before the holiday or after the holiday, that we can basically let people quarantine at home. Depend on, how we do with the positive rate in the community, right? So yeah, we're looking forward to do that. We talk about require everyone to come in to have a pre-arriving PCR, or if they don't do that, we might make them pay at the airport to do PCR. So whatever it is to try to encourage people to do the pre-arrival PCR so they can get here. So there's a lot of discussion, a lot of detail we have to go through with the Surgeon Cell Public Health in order to see if we can change our quarantine guideline here in Guam.
Despite the revised guidelines, the CDC still recommends a 14-day quarantine as the best way to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19. And travelers from Guam will now be able to bypass the state of Hawaii's mandatory 14-day quarantine. Public Health signed an agreement as a trusted testing and travel partner with its Hawaii counterpart. Travelers from Guam will need to have negative COVID-19 results from one of the local certified testing laboratories within 72 hours before departure. Test results can be uploaded in PDF format to travel.hawaii.gov, but it's recommended that you print a hard copy of the results to be verified upon arrival at the Hawaii airport. And up to 41 FSM citizens who have been stranded on Guam and were expected to return home this week will have to wait a while longer. FSM President David Panuelo learned of potential gaps after receiving a briefing on the mechanics and technical components of the repatriation. This would have been the first flight back since the FSM closed its borders in March. According to a press release, the flight, which was scheduled for Sunday, has been postponed indefinitely. The FSM national government has also opted out of the Operation Christmas Drop activities this year. The decisions were made based on ongoing concerns over the pandemic. And effective this morning, restrictions on retirees, Guard, Reserve, and veteran access were lifted at Anderson Air Force Base. The restrictions were put in place at the Commissary and Base Exchange as part of COVID mitigation measures. Limits on food and supply purchases will remain in place. We're going to take a short break and be back with more news right after this.
Holiday federal employees and annuitants, the open season is here. Calvo's Select Care offers a comprehensive on-island network, including GMH and GRMC. Our off-island provider network stretches across the Pacific, plus our partnership with United Healthcare provides over 1 million providers throughout the continental United States. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you. Federal employees and annuitants, enroll today.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. Another investigation was launched into recently discovered skeletal remains. This latest incident occurred in Maina, where remains were found by the Navy substation. Police spokesperson Paul Tapao says a ground maintenance worker discovered the skeletal remains by the jungle line. CID retrieved them and delivered them to the chief medical examiner's office for examination. It was on Monday that a skull was found in Anigua, which remains under investigation. The trial for federal drug defendant Mary Mayu has been continued to January 29th, Mark Mayu Mayo was arrested in November 2019 during a drug raid in Astumbo. He faces conspiracy to distribute meth and attempted possession of meth with intent to distribute charges. The court announced that in a survey of potential jurors, 58% responded that they felt uncomfortable serving during COVID-19. The court sought to start the trial at a later date with neither side objecting. The government also added an off-island witness, a drug expert. A status hearing was set for January 20th. Mayu's case was set to go to trial in August, but the island was placed back in lockdown. And Public Auditor B.J. Cruz says he's not sure why the administration is pushing back on his newly released preliminary audit report on federal coronavirus relief. The OPA has said while they acknowledge DOA and DBMR are in general compliance with federal guidelines, they believe there's a lack of internal controls and specific documentation.
When you have specific plans for the use of that money, they found that the departments used those funds more appropriately than others that had vague plans. And internal controls are important because if you have the important controls and they are written, not something that, you can say, well, this has been our robust practice ever since.
Adelup said in a news release yesterday that it disagrees with the OPA report and that DOA and DBMR have robust controls in place, and they've been very careful in following federal oversight agency guidelines. Cruz says all the OPA is trying to do is to make sure that all of the millions being spent meet federal muster.
I'm not here for a gotcha moment. I'm here hopefully for prevention. That if we learn how to do things correctly, then we won't make the mistakes again.
Cruz says it's one of several audits that are planned. The OPA will also be reviewing COVID hotels and procurement. Separately, DOA announced today it's set up a new internal audit section that will launch next week. It's hired 2 experienced auditors, formerly of OPA, to review controls and financial compliance within the government's line agencies. In other news, a motion hearing was set for tomorrow for criminal sexual conduct defendant Pleas David's pretrial release. But the mother of the 2 minor victims, Amy Wang, says she's been left in the dark and is pleading with the Office of the Attorney General for help. Adriana Cotero reports.
Have other people gone through the same thing that I'm going through? Because it is very frustrating. My oldest daughter, the rape victim, she feels that she's not going to get her justice. She honestly told me not too long ago that she's going to lose her case, and that hurts.
Feeling defeated before heading into trial, Amy Wang is voicing concerns with the prosecution attorneys handling her minor daughter's case. According to KUAM archives, 20-year-old Please David was arrested for allegedly raping a 13-year-old girl at an apartment complex between October and November of last year. Further stated in a magistrate's complaint, David allegedly threatened the girl's younger sister with what appeared to be a pickaxe. David was charged with first and second-degree criminal sexual conduct and terrorizing. This morning on The Link, Wang says her daughters were very frightened and intimidated to speak up, and initially did not want to file a complaint with the police department.
There was consistent checking up on from the attacker, and so they're very scared for my life, their father's life, their family, and themselves, of course. But I wanted my daughters to speak up, have a voice. Enough is enough.
Having enough, Wang tells KUAM she was informed just a couple days ago by the AG advocate assigned to the case that the perpetrator is being released to a third-party custodian on Friday, December 4th. Additionally, she says there's been a last-minute change in prosecuting attorneys by the Office of the Attorney General.
I met 3 different prosecuting attorneys for my daughters. We're about to start trial this month, and we're getting a new one. I haven't even met her yet. I don't know anything, you guys. I'm in the dark.
Seeking answers and an opportunity to oppose the release, Amy says she has made numerous calls and visits to the OAG, having sat outside the office doors for hours waiting to see Attorney General Levin Camacho. And she had this message to share to AG Camacho.
No, I am not an attorney. No, I am not. I don't have a law degree, but at the same time, Mr. Camacho or whoever is listening to this or does see this, I am a mother of 2 minor daughters and all the other victims out there in the world, not just Guam. Imagine how we feel.
Listening in, AG Camacho explains that just yesterday the government was informed the Superior Court of Guam is lifting the tolling of both speedy trial and any indictments or grand jury proceedings.
So we were also caught off guard when we received notice yesterday that about a dozen cases have been set for scheduling, jury selection, and trial. So if you're finding out now, Amy, join the club. We are also finding out that because there's a lift now and they are requiring Superior Court judges to take these cases to trial. As of right now, my understanding is there are only 2 courtrooms that are available for jury selection in felony cases.
As for the change in attorneys,
the way we are structured internally, we have someone who is an overall for a criminal sexual conduct case. We have a lead prosecutor who will oversee all those cases. But we have 7 courtrooms and we have 18 to 19 prosecutors. So the way that we have to staff, and the judges have also requested this, we have courtroom teams. So we have courtroom teams and then we have charge leads. And we have to kind of work with that.
The OAG informs KUAM they plan to make oral arguments tomorrow opposing the defendant's release in Judge Elise Iriarchi's courtroom. Further, the OAG assures that Assistant Attorney General Lenny Rapadas remains the lead on the case. However, due to the change in courtroom, AAG Rochelle Canto is presenting arguments during the motion hearing. AG Camacho apologized for not directly answering Amy and any miscommunication along the way. And while her daughters feel the case is over, this mother fights on.
I'm on air begging you. I know it's not hard to look up my daughter's case or my name or my information, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, but I'm begging you for some type of stability for my daughters.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Turning to business news, as Guam looks to diversify its economy, maybe it can explore more trade opportunities with Taiwan. That was the message from the head of the Taiwan Economic and Cultural Office during a virtual presentation today before the Rotary Club. You may not realize it, but Taiwanese investment is all around us. Taiwanese companies run power plants here, operate a cement factory, a commercial bank, own a valuable land in Tumon, and even sell one of the more popular beverages, Mr. Brown Coffee. And while Taiwan is only the 3rd top tourism market, Economic and Cultural Office Director General Paul Chen says they're working to increase those arrivals once the market reopens.
We are talking about the pre-check-in system, which is we are talking to the U.S. border office set up the front line in Taipei in Taiwan, the airport. So when they check in the airport in Taiwan, actually it's in US territory. So when they fly to Guam, they don't need to go through customs again. They can easily just walk out. So make it more smooth and easier for the tourists to come.
Chen says he's hopeful several Taiwanese airlines will consider flying here, increasing the demand and competition.
When you travel to Guam, most expensive thing is the flight tickets. It's not the hotel. So we can cut the price of flight tickets and more passengers will come.
Chen says another way to boost traffic is simply by reaching out and establishing sister city relationships in Taiwan.
Most cities, the major metropolitan cities, is around 3 million population a city. It's very big. So consider the scale economic power. I encourage Guam to have a more sister relationship with Taiwan's major cities, because those cities will put their attention and efforts and resources to expand the relationship with Guam.
And he says another way to boost relations is through student exchange programs. The results of the congressional runoff election are certified, and incumbent Michael St. is now officially the winner. The KUAM Election Commission held a 3-hour meeting to count a total of 235 provisional and absentee ballots. GEC Director Maria Pangilinan says the off-island ballots included special write-ins, which they were required to send out 45 days before the runoff.
So we sent them out the same time we sent out the general election ballots. So whoever had requested for a general election ballot also got either a federal write-in absentee ballot for the UOCAVA voters or a special write-in absentee ballot for just our off-island voters.
The GEC is now in the process of tagging registered voters that didn't vote in this year's election, as well as the 2016 election. Voters are cleared off the roster after 2 consecutive elections of not actively voting. The GEC is also putting together its financial reports, but Pangilinan says the most immediate priority is to pay their precinct and election workers. We'll be back with more. Please stay with us.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Time doesn't stop, and neither should you or your business. Introducing Stroll Courier. Now you can have all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide without leaving the comfort of your home or office. Delivery has never been easier with our pre-booking and express same-day delivery options. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Stroll Courier. Book, track, deliver.
Welcome back. President Trump is pressing ahead with his legal fight to overturn the 2020 election, and he may be making plans to run again if it fails. With 7 weeks to go until he takes office, President-elect Biden is making plans to tackle the coronavirus. Skylar Henry reports from Wilmington, Delaware.
President-elect Joe Biden is keeping his transition team focused on the pandemic. Today, he took part in a virtual roundtable of small business owners. Members of the incoming Biden administration say they need to take urgent action to stabilize the economy. Currently, more than 10 million people are out of work in the U.S.
I know times are both tough, but I believe that with the right policies, we can fundamentally change things.
Congress remains deadlocked on an emergency coronavirus relief bill, something President-elect Biden has called crucial. President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris are working from here in Delaware ahead of Inauguration Day, now just 7 weeks away.
We love you, President!
President Trump has yet to concede the race to Mr. Biden and is still asking courts to overturn the result. In a 46-minute Facebook video released Wednesday, the president said he's standing up for the integrity of the election.
We are going to defend the honesty of the vote by ensuring that every legal ballot is counted.
At a White House Christmas party on Tuesday, the president hinted that he will run again if his legal efforts fail.
It's been an amazing 4 years. We're trying to do another 4 years. Otherwise, I'll see you in 4 years.
Tuesday, Attorney General William Barr said the Department of Justice has seen no evidence of voter fraud that would have changed the election's outcome. The White House downplayed that remark Wednesday, saying Barr was not commenting on President Trump's still pending civil court claims. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Birthday shout-outs are next. Don't go anywhere.
When I need to pay my Docomo Pacific bills or manage my account, all I do is visit mydocomopacific.com. It's easy to set up. I just visit the website and click on the link to set up my account. I filled out the registration page starting with my account number. I received a text message with a temporary username and password. After making initial changes on my security settings, I'm in! Now I can make payments or manage my Docomo Pacific account without needing to leave home. With Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
In holiday headlines, Adelup announces it will be hosting a Christmas Wish drive-through display at the Skinner Plaza. The holiday lights turn on tomorrow and will remain illuminated through January 4th. The hours are from 6 to 8 p.m. on Fridays to Mondays. Residents must remain in their cars, though, for viewing. And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday to Charlie Balbastro, who celebrates birthday number 14 today. Your mom and dad say, as a church and pavilion member, we wish you a happy birthday and God bless you. That's nice. Hope you have a great day, Charlie. Joel Flores, or Joel. Happy birthday, brother Joel, or Joel. Wishing you many more to come. Hope you enjoy your day. Love Bula from your Flores and Tatato fan band. And Sophia Nicole Andre. Happy birthday to you with love from your mom, dad, brothers Isaiah and Ezekiel, and your Papa Jay, Nimakori, and Nana Norma. Also, you get love from Uncle Cole, Auntie Jerry, and JJ and Uncle Alex. They all say we love you so much with 5 O's. Awesome. And belated birthday wishes going out to Justin Josiah, born on December the 2nd. We love and miss you and your sister very much. Hope your birthday is as awesome as you are. Happy birthday, son. And Darcy Montgomery rounds out our birthday celebrants. Darcy was born on November the 22nd. Happy birthday to you from all of your family and friends. And of course, as always, that includes us right here at KUAM.
And you too can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. That's our report for tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please be safe out there.
Local Music Mashup is brought to you by Burger King. Be your way.
Happy day and welcome to Local Music Mashup. I'm Tyler Matanani. We may not be able to go out and listen to some of our favorite bands on island, but thank God for the age of technology because we've been able to compile a bunch of amazing local artists and bring them to the comfort of your living room. First up, here is Isadzu and Martin Honor.
don't hear what I speak. Listen down to my feet, taking words and reciprocate. Call it off when you need, take your time to repeat. Can't just listen when you can't relate. Think I've said to fall, but nothing ever reaches your soul. Should I be clearer with one-way road, so you could just go with the flow and be whole? I've been rowing, not boat for too long. I'm a rolling stone, got to move on. Run from me, call it things. Won't you take parts in me? Hold on your heart of green. Never let it come and get me down. You'll never ever reach my spoken sounds. Yeah, you don't hear what I speak. Listen down to my feet, taking words and reciprocate. Call it off when you need, take your time to repeat. Can't just listen when you can't relate.
Nothing really special here. Just another simple man, working 9 to 5, trying to make it right. I know I can get this far. Music is my getaway. I'm hoping that I'll make it someday. Listen to the song, it's where I belong. Wish you luck and have a nice day. And I don't know why the world is hurting me. Time will come, yeah. Going green, maybe in the scene. Shout out to my people in the back of the screen, yeah. Money green, money green. I can take you to the summertime, show you where the good times. Going green, maybe in the scene. Shout out to my people in the back of the screen. I'ma make this far, yeah. Music is my getaway. I'm hoping that I'll make it someday. Listen to the song, it's where I belong. Wish you luck and have a nice day. And I don't know why the world is hurting me, but time will come, yeah. Going green, maybe in the scene. Shout out to my people in the back of the screen, yeah. Money green, money green. I can take you to the summertime, show you where the good times. Going green, maybe in the scene. Shout out
they got you moving because coming up next, we are gonna rock the house again with Fat Tofu and a long drive home. Don't go away.
For all those going out each day, doing what they can to hold us all together, we're here to help those helping us all by keeping our lights on.
Local Music Mashup is brought to you by Burger King. Be your way.
Hafide, and welcome back to Local Music Mashup. It's no doubt that these next two bands turn up the mood. Now I hope you're ready because here is A Long Drive Home and Fat Tofu.
Late night, come home, and I feel a bit better now. I lay back and stare at the TV screen, a little lost and worried how something familiar could feel so strange. These halls don't seem the same. They don't sound the same. They don't sound the same. Bright lights, screaming red, feels like I can't breathe again. My favorite song's on the radio, it's so soothing. I pretend that I'm a prisoner, that I am bound to the words I forget about, where I'm going, where the road ends. Out on the open road, I'm free as the traffic passes by, but my home is where I long to be. My mind can't be at ease. When my mind can be at ease. My home is not my home. Don't think I want to find my way back. Find my way back. No.
When we return, we've got a local singer that is on the rise. You do not want to miss that.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflect.